Hey, everyone. Hi. Hello. How are you?
Yo.
Steve with the big sip, big gulp before we dive into
baby.
this week's episode.
Yeah. Dude, drink up. It's all about being hydrated.
That's right, baby. TB12 method. Let's go, folks.
Hell
Welcome to Two Dudes, Fake Balls, your fantasy. I said that backwards, but whatever.
Mega balls.
Mega balls.
Big balls.
Mega two dudes.
All
your fantasy.
All your fantasy.
It's all fantasy, all the time, all balls, all dudes.
All your fantasies involving balls right here, baby.
And dudes right here.
Let them fly, baby.
Some people are really excited for this episode now. Some people are now incredibly disappointed. No.
Turn up the volume.
We're going to NSFW.
We are sick fucks.
What a start. I'm Connor. He's Steve. We are the guys that talk fantasy sports to you, mostly fantasy football right now. We're brought to you by Couch Guys Sports. Go check them out at couchguysports.com, where you can find blogs posted every day, podcasts, other YouTube shows. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button since we're on YouTube. I was about to say rate. I think can you rate YouTube shows, or is that just podcasts? Am I getting them confused? Steve froze. Awesome.
Just rate.
I didn't hear you. You froze. You were like,
well, sorry. But I don't think rate's a thing anymore. That's my big take. I think it's just like only.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thumbs up. There are thumbs ups. So
yeah, thumbs up that shit.
Give us the thumbs up.
Give a thumbs up. Give us a middle finger, too.
Yeah. If you get middle fingers are fine in the comments section. No problem. Please. If you give us a thumbs down, we will come find you. That's true. That'd
be hurtful to get a thumbs down, but a middle finger, I welcome all middle fingers.
Yeah, middle finger, okay, it's whatever. Like, you know what? A thumbs down is like, you guys suck. A middle finger is like, you guys suck. I can handle that.
Imagine getting a thumbs down in the flesh, like in person. That'd be so hurtful.
Someone just walks up to you and they're like, no.
I'd be like, dude, why? Middle finger though. What's up, man? I'd be like, all right, what's going on, my friend?
Yeah, they flipped you off. It's like, all right, you know what? People hate me. I hate them. Whatever. Okay,
you're right. Fuck it. What's up, my bros?
Fair. Cool.
Yeah. Fake balls.
A thumbs down is like, that's like a middle finger is like when your parents mad at you. Right. You're just like, okay, they're mad at me. I messed up. I get it. But a thumbs down is like disappointed. It's like, oh God, that breaks my heart.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. We have talked for about almost 3 minutes now. None of it's been about fantasy football. Let's dive into some fantasy football news. Today, we don't really have a set agenda on our episode in terms of like rankings or anything like that. We did, though, put out a tweet earlier asking for some people with fantasy questions, got some good response back. So we're going to be pulling those up and answering those questions for you, which again, if you have any fantasy questions for us at all, we're more than happy to help out with those and answer them for you. Whether it's on the episode, whether it's just through Twitter. Trust me, Steve and I have done that before. Nelson Cruz was almost traded for Craig Kimbrell one year. It was when Cruz was with the Orioles. We called into a fantasy sports talk show on Sirius XM, and the guy like blasted Steve for even entertaining the thought of trading for Nelson Cruz. And he went on to hit like 42 home runs for the Orioles that year. So
that's right.
To that guy, thumbs down.
Whoever that guy was. Yeah, Sirius XM, dude. I unsubscribed from Sirius XM after that one. Screw that. XM was a Sucka ass application on my car. But you know what, though, Connor? I was thinking that too. I think it would be great if people would tweet at us any trade proposals they get, like in fantasy football, that like they need to be analyzed. Maybe we can give them a rating too of their trade offer. Like, you know what? 80% on that trade, I'd say yes. 20%, I'd give it a hell no. You know what I mean? Like. Something like that. I agree. We're here to help people
and try to steer them on the right path. And let me just tell you, folks, Steve is like the mastermind behind trades.
Thank you.
He can manipulate just about anybody into being his sucka. And so when he tells you if a trade's a good one or not, I would listen to him, folks. He's in pre-med. So anyways, let's dive into a little bit of news. As we talked about, Steve, last week, Leonard Fournette confirmed Sucka. We told everybody a week before it happened, the dude is a Sucka. Do not draft him. The Jacksonville Jaguars even agreed. We don't even want this guy. I don't know what happened. They must have seen our episode and been like, wow, he is a Sucka. They're absolutely right. Get this guy's ass off our team. He's gone. But is there a scenario where he could go to another team and all of a sudden not become a Sucka.
I think absolutely. He's not done with football for sure.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He'll bounce back real soon. The question is where, though? I mean, of course,
it's a good question.
There's always the gif of Bill Belichick coming out, the walk up. It ain't happening. I wish it would, but you know what? If they didn't
I don't want to, why?
Well, the guy's a sucker, yes, but Belichick loves bringing suckers in and giving them a shot. Think about Albert Hainsworth, that guy is a real sucker. Chad Ochocinco wasn't a sucker, but he was on the way to becoming one. But you know what I mean? Like people like that, Fournette would have been a good flyer guy, and I bet you he would have given him a shot if Lamar wasn't on the team right now. But depending on where he ends up, I'm thinking like best case scenario for Fournette is that he's not the bell cow right now. Like he's not the guy getting like 40 carries, 30 carries, whatever. Not 40 carries, obviously, that's ridiculous. But imagine if he landed on the Chiefs right now, something like that, or the Rams.
Chiefs
maybe?
Don't name though. They gotta get here's I'll go with what Vegas is saying right now in terms of odds where he'll be playing. Now I think everybody puts the Patriots up there just because of what you said, Steve, where Belichick always does this, where he takes the low risk, high reward guy, like we're seeing with Cam Newton right now. Right. The Patriots have the cap space to obviously go and sign him, but you're also looking at a running back room of Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, and Lamar Miller. Those are four guys that are all very usable. The Patriots in these past few years have not been centered around a single running back. I just don't see Leonard Fournette fitting in there, but the Patriots have the second best odds to land him according to Vegas, but I think that's just the Belichick. They're trying to sucker people into that, lose money. I don't see that happening. The favorite is the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery didn't tear his groin. It's not quite that bad where he's going to miss quite a few months. It's going to be a few weeks. Tariq Cohen, I think we've all seen, is not exactly a feature back. He's kind of just a good change of pace guy. Yeah. I could see Leonard Fournette in Chicago, but is that any better than Jacksonville? I don't really know about that.
I think that any situation really is better than Jacksonville, though. Like, I would take Fournette on the Bears. I'm into that. I'd give that a real. If he ended up on the Bears, I would take one sucker point away from him. I'd add a sucker point. He's in the negatives in sucker world, but he'll be a little bit less of a sucker if he was a Bear.
Third best team with odds is Tampa Bay at plus 400. I actually kind of like that one. I do. We talked about how we thought Ronald Jones would be good this year in Tampa. I mean, why not Leonard Fournette with the Buccaneers?
Dude, let Ronald Jones have the reins. He's ready. Ronald Jones is a tank waiting to happen. Who's the backup there in Tampa?
Dario Gumbawale.
Oh, you buddy. Actually, it would fit.
Yeah, see, I think it could fit. Washington football team.
Who do they have?
Like Adrian Peterson.
Right. Yeah, Geis is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could fit for sure.
I think that could be a good one. But again, I don't know if that's a spot where it's okay. He's no longer a sucker. Like, watch out, Leonard Fournette could be challenging for a top 10 running back crown. Seattle Seahawks. I actually kind of secretly like the Seahawks one. That could be that. Cool. If Fournette went to the Seahawks, I could then see that's the landing spot. I think if you're a fantasy football fan and you've already drafted Leonard Fournette to your team, you should probably be rooting for him to go to the Seahawks because Marshawn Lynch thrived there. So I'd be voting that. Atlanta Falcons, no, they have Todd Gurley. I don't touch that one. Pittsburgh Steelers, they have James Conner. Don't touch that one. I would say Leonard Fournette probably stays for me where he is, unless he goes to Tampa Bay. I think he gets a little bit of a boost just because of Brady. Probably doesn't get as many touches, but Seattle's the one that I'd be rooting for if I was a fantasy
Fournette owner.
Yeah, if I owned Fournette, yeah. If I was a sucker and owned Fournette.
If you were a sucker that would drafted him, oh my God bless your soul. But is Chris Carson hurt right now? I just feel like he's always hurt in my mind.
I don't think so. Yeah, he's just one of those guys that like you never truly quite believe in every year. It's just sort of like I think. See, that's why I like Fournette to Seattle. I don't think Chris Carson's that great. It's just Seattle gets him the ball constantly. Their offense is based around him and running the football. So I think that's where he just gets, every little
running play. Like Rashad Penny, I think he's been buried for years. That never made any sense to me.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Pete Carroll just said today, actually, that Chris Carson hasn't had a snap out here that he didn't look good. But I mean, that's Pete Carroll. I'm not going to buy any.
Yeah, whatever.
Buy at all. I'm rooting for Fournette to the Seahawks. I think that could push him up some draft boards.
Mm-hmm.
And again, pay attention to that, just because if Leonard Fournette changes teams, I'm sure that we'll probably bump him up a few draft boards, because big name changing teams gets everybody hyped. The change of scenery, but I would say Seahawks is your top choice, Buccaneers second. Everything else, it doesn't change them, and actually might hurt them even. So let's go to the other running back, who's actually a very big story, I think, because he's one of the basically top tier elite running backs in fantasy football. I have him as a keeper in our league, Steve. Alvin Kamara. Just randomly, because he's mad about his contract and wants to be paid like Christian McCaffrey. The Saints are saying, hey, we have no problem paying you like top elite running back dollars, but we're not going to pay you McCaffrey money. He says, no, I want McCaffrey money. So he leaves. And now the Saints all of a sudden come out and say, hey, we're open to trading the guy. And I kind of agree with a lot of people. I don't think that happens, because the Saints window with a aging Drew Brees is very small and limited, and you need Alvin Kamara badly. So I don't think it happens. But still, for Kamara owners like me with the draft coming up soon, this is a little bit sketchy, because he is the best in that Saints system, not really anywhere else. And I'll tell you the odds right now. Where will Alvin Kamara play week 1? The odds are pretty heavily still with the New Orleans Saints, but the next best are the Bears, the Washington football team, and the Bengals. Those are your other top 3 choices. None of those places sound good to me as a Kamara owner.
Yeah, Kamara holding out. This is not good as a fantasy owner, especially for you right now. Sorry, Connor. If you want to trade me him, you may. But
you would.
For free.
You would. Yeah, for free.
Yeah, it's a deal. But in all seriousness, this reminds me of how like Le'Veon Bell was it 2 years ago, maybe, right? When he was holding out.
Just sat out the whole season and didn't even work for him in the end.
Right, and it was kind of like there was like that hype of like, all right, he's coming back though, don't you worry. And people actually drafted him, like where he should have gone, if he had played. And if something happens like this with Kamara, it's going to be some serious trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned those top 3 teams. The next 3 teams actually aren't terrible for him, minus the Steelers, because I said James Conner. The Los Angeles Rams. I'd love Kamara going to the Rams. We saw what they did with Gurley and a pass catching back. That'd be awesome. And the Kansas City Chiefs. That'd be incredible.
Oh my God, that'd be the perfect match. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, forget Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you're the Chiefs, trade him Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Kamara right now.
Straight up.
And get it over and done with. But I think he stays with New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure for everybody else in the world, that's what they're hoping for, is he stays with the New Orleans Saints. So,
how are they going to afford him though in the long term? That's what I wonder.
I don't know. And paying running backs is a risky business, but
sure.
Like I said, for them, it might be one of those where the window is just too small to pass up trading them. So.
Right.
That's just how it is. So, all right, that's kind of the 2 big news things of the week. So let's get into, like we said, we tweeted and asked for this episode for people to send in their requests of questions, and we're going to start with one. Our good old friend Steve James Rooney, who writes in. He wants to know standard 2-keeper league. We already know which one because it's ours, so we know it's standard scoring 2-keeper league. Nick Chubb, Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson. Is Lamar talented enough to keep over one of these guys? Boy, that's tough because Chubb and Jacobs are both first-round talents, quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson. They usually don't go until later, but I don't know. What do you think? Is Lamar worth it?
I had this discussion last night about the importance of quarterbacks and where and when to draft them. And people like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes both are those elite talents, those wonderful, like A+, you have a rock star of a quarterback talent. However, Chubb and Jacobs, both to me are first round running back talents, and both could potentially be the number 1 overall pick kind of type player, like that elite. And in this situation for James, I'm hoping he keeps both of those 2 people. So hopefully I can get one in a trade later. However,
yes, Steve's a master trade manipulator,
especially with James, my dear friend and
James
trader.
is minor league team, folks.
James gets some good guys for me though. You watch, man. Look at the trade history. Oh yeah. Anyway,
1 out of every 10.
Yeah. Shout out James Rooney. But yeah, I would, if I were you, James. And this is like real advice though. I would keep Chubb and Jacobs. But if you decide to keep or not keep one of the 2, I wouldn't hate on it either. I just don't know which one I would not choose to keep. I
mean that's a tough one. I would probably say I'd probably go Jacobs Jackson, to be honest with you. I like Nick Chubb. I think I had him in like my top 5 running backs this year, but he still has Kareem Hunt behind him. And I could foresee that possibly handcuffing him for right now. I mean, Kareem Hunt could get cut next week and it's
right.
Chubb's the guy to go with. But I could see him maybe handcuffing him a little bit there with the Browns, stealing a couple of touchdowns here and there. Whereas Jacobs, as far as I know, doesn't have anybody around him to take away carries. I think they're the same age. Or Jacobs is like a year younger. I like Jacobs a little more than Chubb, I guess, the more I think about it. And then I have Lamar Jackson as my number 1 quarterback. I think he's worth it, at least in a 2-keeper league. Some people would argue with me. They'd say you're an idiot. Keep the 2 elite running backs. Draft the quarterback later. Who cares if it's Lamar Jackson? You can go and get. And that's, you know what? Maybe I'm talking myself as I discuss this out into something else where. Because if you think, I mean, the other flip of the coin is Chubb and Jacobs. You have your 2 running backs all set. You can focus on wide receiver and a flex for your first 3 rounds, and you could easily grab like a Russell Wilson in the 5th round early or a Kyler Murray. Actually, you know what? I'm going with you, Steve. I'm going keep both running backs, Chubb, Jacobs. Let Lamar go to the draft because you got your 2 running backs set, and then you can focus on getting 2 wide receivers, a flex. You already have basically your entire team set, or a tight end at that point. Get an elite tight end in Kelsey or Kittle, and then get a guy like Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't know, just Daniel Jones. Just, throw that.
Oh, yeah. I never know. just not Josh Allen, or I'll flip the fuck out.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I talked myself into flipping that one the other way. So there you go, James. That's what we're doing with. James had another one for us as well. He just wants to kind of know how well do we think O.J. Howard will perform with Brady now at the helm and foreseeably Gronk as the tight end 1 for the Buccaneers? Is he worth a 10 to 12 round pick? I say probably absolutely not, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. Unless Gronk gets hurt, then O.J. Howard's relevant. If not, he's completely like a sucker. There you go. That's a real sucker for the week. O.J. Howard, for some reason, that guy can't put it together. I'm sick of that guy.
Njoku.
Yeah, what's the deal?
They've had like every chance in the world.
Every chance. Dude, you've been handed the keys to the kingdom 100 times. Do something, but no, you guys are complete suckers. Njoku and O.J. Howard. Come on, get out of here, sucker.
Yeah. No, I think now again, coaches. We just saw Pete Carroll with Chris Carson saying that he's, every snap he's taken is great. Bruce Arians said that with Gronk, like, oh, he's running faster than he has in the last 3-4 years. Get out of here.
Okay.
Dave. Like you watched, like you knew how fast he was running. Just because Gronk said, I feel great, coach, while slamming a Monster Energy drink on the sideline and then going out there and sprinting doesn't equal, hey, he's back 100%. I still I don't touch OJ Howard. He's a waiver. If I'd wait a couple of weeks, and if you see OJ Howard starting to take more snaps than Gronk, that he's a waiver wire pickup, but no, he's not worth at all. I don't think a draft. Investment.
No draft.
Yeah. No draft. So next question comes from Steve's podcast, Small State Big Takes. Heck of a lineup of keepers here. Which 2 should I keep? Michael Thomas, Ezekiel Elliott, DeAndre Hopkins, or Patrick Mahomes? What do you got, Steve? I'm gonna guess you go with your 2 Ohio State boys.
Yeah. For a while there,
Homer.
Yeah, well, actually, this is me tweeting it. Obviously, I was trying to add some flair to this questionnaire here, but yeah, I'm going with my boys, Michael Thomas and Zeke. I was trying to talk myself into Mahomes for a while and maybe let Zeke go, but I was like, but then I did my offline draft last week. I'm looking at some rankings, and there's no way I can let Zeke go. I love Mahomes, but it's the same argument that we just had for James Rooney's first tweet about quarterback versus building blocks for your team for the year. And obviously Michael Thomas is my boy forever, but Zeke is about as rock solid as it gets for a running back. So I'm going Zeke, Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I'd say Zeke, easy keeper. And then it's a flip up between Thomas and Hopkins. I don't think there's a wrong answer there. I would say the only wrong answer is if you decide to keep Mahomes, because we just talked about you don't have to keep quarterbacks just yet. You can kind of let him go, but I would say keep Zeke and then one of the wide receivers.
How close is it for you and Thomas and Hopkins?
It's a flip. It's a toss of the coin for me, honestly, because I think Hopkins is going to a system that he's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
With Michael Thomas, the one thing I'd argue is, did we just see the best of him? Is he ever going to top what he just did again? I'm not saying he can't perform at an elite level anymore. He's going to do that. But did we see the absolute best of Michael Thomas? Is that a career year? Will he ever touch that again? Where I feel like Hopkins is kind of proven year in and year out. He's always elite, always at the top of his game, always in the conversation for wide receiver number one, at least as for now, and moving to an offense where they're just going to throw the ball the entire time. So I don't know. That's kind of where I lean.
Okay. I just, I'm a Michael Thomas stan.
I know you're Ohio State. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, even so, Michael Thomas, his numbers have proved that he's been dope since he came in. He's led the league in catches and yards per game since he came into the league the last 3 years. So I am all in on Thomas as being the next GOAT, him and Jerry Rice. And you heard it here on a YouTube video now.
Final one. We're saving the best for last. This is from someone that didn't even follow us until we tweeted this. He wants to know, who would you take at pick number 7? This is Abe at Apo for life with a 3 at the end. He said he was going to tune in because I said we'll put this on he DM'd us. And I said I'd put it in. So shout out Abe.
Shout out Abe.
Thanks for the DM and thanks for tuning in. But he asked, who would you take a pick at number 7? I think this is a good question because we always talk about the best players available, but we rarely talk about like the back of the first round. What do you do at the end of the first round where the obvious easy answers are gone and all of a sudden you're picking between guys that were kind of first rounders, but now they're second rounders. You don't feel like maybe you're getting the same value. So he wants to know at pick number 7, if Michael Thomas and Dalvin Cook are gone, do you go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire of Kansas City, Derrick Henry, or a different one? And he's in a full PPR league. He said, please answer soon. My draft is soon, which is actually going on, I think, right about now. Tonight, he says, like at 9 p.m. So he's drafting as we speak. But
let's go, Abe. Abe, if you're hearing this, please tweet at us and tell us how it went.
Yeah. We already responded to Abe with our thoughts, but we'll tell everyone here. So pick number 7, Michael Thomas, Steve's boy, is gone. Abe was worried about Dalvin Cook. He wanted Dalvin Cook to be there as well. I don't know with his contract situation because he's also kind of, I think he's at camp, but he's just mad about his contract, so you never know about that. But we both kind of agreed on that one, Steve. It's Derrick Henry, hands down, easy pick.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Derrick Henry was there at number 7, honestly. I'd rather have Derrick Henry than Dalvin Cook. That's the honest truth.
Best name, yeah.
Like, I might go for him, like, pick, like, 4, 5. Like, that high.
All he gets is carries. And, I mean, why would you pick anything else? So that's kind of my thinking of it. I mean, all he gets is carries. And
what's the highest you would draft Clyde's whatever, Belair?
See, I thought 7 was a little high. I think Edwards-Helaire is the guy, if you're at the back of the first round, maybe mid-second round, I would take him. And I told this guy, because we talked a little bit on the DM. My breakdown of Clyde Edwards-Helaire is like, okay, I understand the hype. He's a rookie. He's going to get all the touches because Damian Williams opted out. And Andy Reid and running backs go hand in hand. They always have. And I know he probably looks like a young Brian Westbrook. And Brian Westbrook, I owe many fantasy championships and wins to. But I would let somebody else pay a premium on Clyde Edwards-Helaire this year. Let somebody else pay that first-round value for him. And if he returns first-round value, then good for them. Their gamble paid off. But more than likely, it probably won't. And if that's the case, then just take him next year. Pay the premium for him next year.
Yeah, wait next year. Unless he becomes a stud, which could happen.
And that could happen like a Saquon. We expect him to be great, and then he automatically is, and then he's like your number one overall pick for the next 5 years. But there's not a lot of Saquons out there, so let's be honest.
You know what, too, about Chiefs running backs? I was thinking about that after the fact. Throughout the years, there's always been like a rookie or like a second year running back on the Chiefs that's like, oh man, you wait till he gets a chance. And I'm thinking of like Darrell Williams or like Darwin Thompson or fucking, I don't know, Spencer Ware, like someone that's like, oh my God, just wait. In that offense, he's fresh legs, like he's ready to go. And like in the case of Spencer Ware, when he did get a shot, he was dope, and then he busted his leg, leading the way to whoever it was that came up next. I forgot who. But like Darrell Williams, I always thought he was going to explode, and I held on to him forever last year. Never happened. And then Darwin Thompson, I'm like, all right, whatever. Darwin Thompson then never happened. So, and I'm not saying that will happen for Clyde, but it's always good to be wary of the Chiefs' bell cow running back. Like, and then again, like with Damian Williams, I mean, he was not. He wasn't like the main guy, and then all of a sudden he was like the guy, and then he was like the perfect guy.
Kareem Hunt was huge.
And
then Damian Williams had a huge playoff run. I even drafted Damian Williams like in the first round the next year. Like, oh my God, this guy's gonna be a stud. He's just the next guy up for the Chiefs. Like, it really doesn't matter. They just plug people in there, and they perform because of Andy Reid's offense and the style he calls a game. Or I guess Eric Bieniemy now, but I don't know. I with rookies, I would rather somebody else pay that premium, and then I'll pay it the next year. That's fine. If he pans out, and I'll pay up for him next year. Good for them on their gamble. More times than not, the production outweighs, or the hype outweighs the production.
I agree.
The production just doesn't, equal the hype that they had. It's cool because it's an unknown. It could be crazy. It could be anything. But it doesn't really turn out to be. One rookie I will mention, another Ohio State guy that I'm starting to get high on. We tweeted out today from our Twitter account is J.K. Dobbins, because John Harbaugh said he's looking great. I know you can't take what coaches say in training camp seriously, but he did say he is earning a significant role in the offense already as a rookie. And I'm not huge on Mark Ingram. I think Mark Ingram's probably pretty expendable. So J.K. Dobbins is kind of climbing up my draft board.
I saw you tweet that, and I had chills. I'm like, you know what? That wasn't me, and it's getting Ohio State love. Let's go. But in all seriousness, J.K. Dobbins, he's good. Ohio State, he's good. He was as solid as they come at Ohio State. One of the best running backs of all time there, actually, and he's dope. I bet you he could be the bell cow for that team easily. They could feed him. Let Ingram, be an older man, phase him out, and Dobbins in.
Which, you know what? Just in case anyone's saying that's fake news or pulled that wrong out of context of what Harbaugh said, that tweet and the quote came straight from the Baltimore Ravens Twitter account. So they're not gonna do any fake news there. I did want to give a shout out before we get on to our suckers of the week. The owner of Couch Guy Sports, Nick Qualia, had his fantasy draft, and folks, this is how you listen to us right here. Look at this team. This is stacked. This is the starters: Mahomes, Hopkins, Cortland Sutton, who we love, Josh Jacobs, we're a big fan of, Miles Sanders, Noah Fant, and Ronald Jones II.
Damn.
And then I think he had Justin Tucker in the Baltimore defense, and then his bench is Michael Gallup, John Brown, N'Keal Harry, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Rodgers, Austin Hooper, and AJ Dillon. Great to know that the owner of Couch Guy Sports is tuning in and watching, and that he is, he listened to us, and that's a fantastic team there, folks. That's how you draft right there.
Dude, shout out Quags. Open up that brain, just inject those fake balls right into your fucking medulla oblongata. We got the information for you. I'm so happy. He's going to win this league, and he's going to be thanking us.
Thanks to us. You're welcome, Quags.
Damn.
You are welcome. And you are welcome to everybody else. Again, give us any sort of questions you have about your draft, trades. We even do fantasy baseball, too. So if your fantasy baseball league is roaring and you need help, let us know.
Love to help you with that.
Love to help you. Just tweet at us, yourfantasy_CGS on Twitter. So let's finish up, wrap things up, Steve, with our Suckas of the week. I'll go first for you in case you still need time to think one over. My Sucka of the week. I mean, it's kind of been Sucka of the offseason, but Bill O'Brien, head coach / GM of the Houston Texans, because the dude trades DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson because he needs running back help. And then lo and behold, come a couple of weeks before the season starts, should have been Christmas for him. Leonard Fournette is there for the taking, just right off the scrap heap. And Alvin Kamara is available for trades. And what does he have? A shitty contract of David Johnson that I bet he's now just sitting there going, God damn it. So good job, Bill O'Brien. Way to go. Leonard Fournette is sitting there. Alvin Kamara wants out, and you have David Johnson. What a round of applause. Sucker of the week.
Sucker of the weeks. Sit and rotate on it, buddy. Wow.
Does he have a Twitter account? I mean, God, just
I know to tweet it. Oh my God, you absolutely. Bill O'Brien. He does. Nah, he wouldn't. He's a big baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a just a sucker.
Complete sucker. Oh, you know what? I know what my sucker is. You know what? I'm trying to find somebody that's like a player right now, but no one's really being a sucker yet. However, my sucker of the week this week, for sure, is former linebacker and all-time great Brain Urlacher. That guy is a fuck nut. Brian, what happened, guy? We all liked you. Everyone thought you were cool. And now
everybody, you made the barbed wire bicep tattoo cool, but it's not cool anymore.
Him and Pam Anderson. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
way to ruin that for everybody.
Dude, forget it. Brain Urlacher, you bald, thumb-looking Brett Gardner's dad-looking sucker.
He's not bald anymore, and that might be the problem.
Oh.
He's got hair plugs now, but
wait,
now
what?
he thinks yeah, you didn't know that? He has hair now. Brain Urlacher has hair. He shouldn't. It's giving him too much confidence.
Let me see. Brain Urlacher hair. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Right there.
Right.
Where have I been? Imagine Brett Gardner with hair, though. I don't know what's weird. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I have to sit back in my chair and digest this. Wow, he's a triple sucker now. He skipped over double sucker. He's a triple sucker. The first ever triple sucker of this podcast. Oh.
He used to give bald men, or at least shaved head men, confidence and hope in that, you know what? I at least Brain Urlacher looks like me. He's one of the most intimidating men of all time. Nope, just kidding. Not anymore. He was like, dude, this sucks. I'm going to put hair on my head and I'm going to start tweeting Instagram posting racist things.
Yeah, dude. Wow. I'd never seen someone go down the tubes like that. Like, it's like, imagine like Ray Lewis, like growing out like a redheaded, like afro. Yeah.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
What's worse, Sammy Sosa or Brain Urlacher's hair?
Well, you know what? After watching that Sosa, I can't even defend Sammy Sosa. No, it's Sammy. But Urlacher, though, that's a surprise, dude. Come on, man. Just embrace baldness.
He couldn't, though. I don't know. It's crazy. So,
will you embrace baldness if you get it? That's my question.
If I have to, yeah. Because then you have to live with a mindset of like, this is okay. This is cool. Like, I am okay with this. If not, then your life just sucks. So,
I'm excited.
Brain Urlacher couldn't do that, which is kind of sad to know.
Like Brian,
I'm sure he was an inspiration to shaved head, bald men everywhere. Like I said, once the most intimidating man in the world, and now
threw it all away.
Yeah, and he threw all that away for,
just for being a sucker.
Bosley spokesperson. Congrats on your ass hair.
Congrats on your infomercial. Yeah, ass transplant. Got it from the inside of his. Never mind. Oh, Brian.
That's where he can shove his Instagram story post. All right, that does it for us. Sit and rotate. Brian Urlacher, Bill O'Brien are Suckas of the week. That'll do it for us here on Your Fantasy. Two dudes, fake balls. He's Steve. I'm Connor. Go Canada. Peace.
Canada.